Hello guys, it's Dr. Shweta here. Today we are here to discuss something about a very important topic which is called gait. So in this topic we will discuss what is gait. As we say, the gait simply means how we walk. That So, our walking pattern differ at every single individual. So, there is a cycle also in this gait which is divided into two phases. Which is, first is stance phase and the second is swing phase. So in this gait there is a point which came when there is a single leg support and also double leg support. So, our one leg always or on the ground when we are walking or doing something, but when we are running, we are in a float position. Neither any of the leg touches the ground, which is also called float or double float. So, in this gait cycle also there are step length, stride length. So, what do you mean by step length? So, when we are walking, as we got to take our one leg and then again touches that second leg over the ground, then we can say that this is one step. So, it is called one step. When our one leg is here and our second leg touches the ground here, then the distance between these two legs is called step length. And what is stride length? When the heel strike happens here, and when our next heel strike is going to happen, then it is called stride length. So these are the normal things which are discussed here. So now we are going to take the stance phase and swing phase in depth. So now we are going to discuss about stance phase and swing phase. So the stance phase it consists of about our 60 to 65% of our gait cycle. So there are parts which describe how the stance phase happens. So first, in stance phase, the first thing which is going to strike when it is called heel strike. Heel strike is defined when our heel just touches the ground at the initial point of the gait cycle, which is called heel strike. Now, the second one is foot plant. After the heel strike, can we imagine this as a heel? Then if the heel strike happens, then the next step which is happened is our foot got flat on the ground. That whole foot is on the ground, so that we can call this foot flat. The third thing in the stance phase is, it is called mid stance. In mid stance, the weight of the body is likely to be on the leg which is on the stance phase, so that it is called the mid stance. The fourth one, which is called heel off. Firstly, we had discussed that heel strike, foot flat, mid stance when the weight is on the foot, on the leg, then again the leg is going to take off from the ground, and then it is called heel off. But it touches the ground, that means it is on the contact. Then the fifth step which happens is toe off. Toe off is the last phase of the stance phase, which describes that it is the starting of the swing phase, that the leg is going to be on the air or not in contact with the ground. So now we will discuss here about swing phase. Swing phase comprises of 35 to 40% of the gait cycle. Hence, there are three things which we will discuss in swing phase, which are acceleration, second is mid swing, and the third, which is deceleration. So what acceleration does, that when the last, that is toe off completed, the leg is going to move further, that is, it is accelerated, our body is moving forward. It is called acceleration. The velocity of the gait cycle increases here. In the mid swing, the leg is going to downward, that is going in the deceleration phase, but not in that phase. And in the third, the deceleration, that the leg is going again to complete the gait cycle and moving again towards the stance phase, that is heel strike. The whole body weight is on that leg, which is completing the gait cycle. So these are the things which describe what the gait cycle is. So now we are here to discuss about abnormal gait. What are the abnormal gait which describe the pattern of walking? So firstly we have to discuss about antalgic gait. Antalgic gait, it is also called painful gait, because if there is any injury or any incident or accident happens to our hip, to our knees, then there is a painful movement which occurs like that. If we have a accident, then we will not put some of the weight on the leg which is affected or which is injured. So we have to protect it from bending or from weight, so that the way of pattern of walking has been changed. So it is called antalgic gait, that the patient or the person bend at that side and then he or she will walk like that. The second one which occurs is arthrogenic gait. Arthrogenic gait happens when there is stiffness over the hip or over the knee. Due to the stiffness, the patient is not able to move his or her leg, so he take the weight towards the other leg so that the pain will not occur on that leg. So the both antalgic and arthrogenic gait is quite similar. Now the third gait, which is called ataxic gait. Ataxia means loss of sensation. Mainly it occurs in the brain, which is called cerebellar ataxia. So in this ataxic gait, the patient will not feel sensation over their legs. When the sensation is lost, the patient, what they will do, that they will press their leg on the ground with a much force, so that they will feel the pressure, so that they will not disbalance. Hence, ataxic gait is more common in the patient who are suffering from stroke. So these are more common in that. The equinus gait. Equinus gait is also due to some injury in which the patient put more weight towards forward to their body, and then they would walk on their toes. So this may also be due to some injury or due to some birth defects also. The fifth one, which is more common, which is Parkinsonian gait. In Parkinsonian gait, it is happened in the patient who are suffering from Parkinson's disease. They also not feel so much on their leg, and they have a problem that they will always feel that they will fall towards, and hence they will take short steps to walking. That is, their step length and their stride length becomes shorter, more shorter. The last one is scissor gait. Scissor gait is also due to spasticity. In this, the patient or the person may walk like they will put one leg towards the other leg and then cross and then walk like that. So there are many more gait, that is gluteus maximus gait, gluteus minimus gait, Trendelenburg gait. There are several types of abnormal gaits also occurs depending upon the disease they are having. So that's it for today, and if you have any query about the gait, and if you want me to discuss more about gait, then please let me know into the comments so that we can discuss it more. So thank you, have a nice day.